Right. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, everybody. It's me, Tom. We're doing mic stuff. Now the Zoom room can be heard. Hey, everybody. Woo, 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 woo. TB&J Open Mic. Here we go. Hopefully, that transition looked smoother than it felt. Hey, here we go. Welcome, everybody, to the TB&J Open Mic. My name is Tom. I'm going to be your host this evening, and co-hosting with me, as always, is Brooksy Poopsie. Woo, 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 woo. Before we get started, I'm going to do my normal review of policies. First one is two-strike heckling policy. So first strike, we will mute you. Second strike, doing anything weird from your camera, etc. We will kick you out of the room. Next, zero tolerance harassment policy. If you feel you're being harassed, send a private message to either me or Brooks, and one of us will kick them out of the room. No questions asked. Finally, when you perform, switch to gallery view or pin. There will be a timer in its own little square that will tell you when your 4 minutes are up. And also, you can private message me or Brooks, or just say before you start your set that you need an audible cue, and we will say 1 minute. When you have a minute left in your set. And networkers, don't forget to put your socials in the chat when you're done. Now for our audience, special note that this is an open mic, so the comedians performing with us tonight come with varying levels of experience, so be nice. Also, the content featured on this show and all of our shows may not be suitable for all audiences. You have been warned. And we're trying to bring the game back. If you want to leave a comment in the chat, I do have a screen up so I can see them and hopefully try and respond. And we're doing the thing where if you put a one-liner in the chat, at the end of the night, we'll pick the best one-liner, and that's how we'll send off the show. with all that being said, last thing is, if you want to support the stream, like us and follow us on all the platforms and consider making a donation of any size. Links to where to do that are in the video description. Now I'm gonna get us started, so give it up for Tom, everybody! Woo, 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 woo! Anticlimactic transition. I'm not gonna have a full 4 minutes, because we're at least supposed to have a full room tonight. But I did want to ask you all a few questions. Do you post random comedic premises to strangers on the internet? Do you voice your unsolicited hot takes on comedy to Facebook groups with 6,000 plus members? Do you open your shows with promotional sketches that aren't that funny and only apply to a very niche audience instead of just referring people to your merch like a normal human? Well, have we got the product for you? Now, for only $16, you can put all your edgy material into this handy dollar store knockoff notebook with the District Comedy logo on it. The paper is, I don't know, somehow broken. The logo is like slightly not center. That if you have any reminiscence of OCD, it will definitely bother you. Yeah, it'll keep all of your unfiltered thoughts in a place where you can, I don't know, reflect on them privately. Anyway, that's all to say. We do have merch now. If you want to help support the stream that way, that is an option, and you can check that out at district-comedy.live. That's it. That's it for me. Here we go. Give it up for Tom promoting merch. Woo, 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 woo. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm also really tired this week. So that's why that's what we have. Let me see real quick, though, before I introduce our first comic. He is in the room. I'm really excited. I believe he's been on the mic before. Give it up for Ben Miller. Woo, 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 woo.
Thanks. Yeah. It's nice to follow promotion. That's always good. I was also planning on doing my whole 4 minutes about that one comedy notebook. That's good. I actually, yesterday evening, I burnt every single one of my fingertips taking laundry out of the dryer. So, still in pain from that. Feels real embarrassing because, like, yeah, I don't know. Normally, like, when you burn yourself, it's like you're eating food that's like too hot or something because, like, you need to eat in order to die, but you don't need to do laundry in order to stay alive. Did I say you need to eat in order to die? That's very morbid and not true. You need to eat to live. Oh boy, can you tell this is a new joke and actually happened last night? Because none of the words make sense. Yeah, I feel like every injury I get is embarrassing in some sort of way. Like, I have multiple, like, little scars on my hands because I've, like, cut myself on microscopes. I have science scars. That's what I have. Not, like, cool, piratey scars. My shoulder, my left shoulder is still in pain because I tried to do pull-ups, but like weighted pull-ups with like a backpack. I injured myself with a backpack. Oh boy, I don't know. Do any of you have like embarrassing injuries?
Woo! Woo!
A couple of woos. Do you mind if I ask you about them? If you're too embarrassed, we don't have to. You can just write about them in the District Comedy Notebook. Am I right? Been promotion this whole time. Brooks, what's your embarrassing injury?
Mine's actually like half of my set.
You want to have half of my set now? That's okay. We will move on. But good foreshadowing. I like it. There's what other literary thing? Who else was nodding and or willing to talk about their embarrassing injuries?
Woo!
Tom, yeah. What do you got?
It's kind of embarrassing. So I used to do a lot of dance stuff, so I get every once in a while, like, basically, I feel like I have a pulled muscle at the very top of my hamstring, so it's just a sore butt.
Damn, yeah, I've never been cool enough to be on a dance floor, so I don't know what that's like. It seems like a party guy sort of injury, so I am jealous. You're like, yeah, I pulled my hamstring doing keg stands. That's what I do. Sick. Anybody else wanna? Nobody?
Sure,
Yeah. Hey.
sure. I was building a sauna and I was really upset with my project, so I took the X-Acto knife and I was cutting the tip of the cock off, the cock.
Yeah.
And so I cut the tip of the cock off and my leg. Like I didn't cut the leg off, but like I did a really giant slash, and then the person who did the stitches did a really bad job, so I still have it.
Damn. So you were stressed about building the sauna. You felt like you really needed to let some steam off. Is that what happened? Yeah. Ending the set on a bad pun. Thanks everybody for sharing.
Woo, 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 woo! Give it up for Ben Miller, everybody. I was glad I remembered correctly. He is funny. Next up on our set list, let's see, who do we have here? Oh, awesome. I believe it is her first time on the mic. We love new people here, so please give a very warm welcome for the fantastic Ira Claiborne. Woo, 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 woo!
Hey guys, my name's Ira.
Damn.
That is my real name. It's cool. It's just one of those cruel teases of having male privilege and then getting it ripped away from my hands. You guys don't have that? Ira, it's a man's name. I asked my mom why, and she said, "Oh, I named you after a gay Jewish man." You got 1 out of 3 right. I feel like we can all guess which one by now. Yeah. I identify as a Comfort Plus lesbian. It's like a tampon. You get it? It's my priority isn't comfort. It's Comfort Plus. Like I have already, like I'm never gonna ever wear high heels. I've forgiven myself for that. I love stretch clothes. And I've committed myself to a cause. Like everybody has a cause. Some people are like, no fast fashion. Some people are vegan, no leather. Mine is pro pockets. That's it. It's pro but pro good pockets, which means not women's pockets, because women's pockets are only big enough to like hold your cocaine, like not even your like you need more space for your weed than that, or at least I do. It's cool. I don't think that's a lot to ask for, really. I'm looking for sponsorships from obviously Tiva because they were the original strap-on. Birkenstock because we all have like Jesus lesbian parallels here. Doc Martin, we all share the same market, I guess is what I'm going for with them. Ladies. I also think anybody, here's a confession. I identify as gay asterisk. I grew up in Georgia. Asterisk, the little star. Like mine, if you read down, it's a long, you read all the way down, then mine would be like, really prefers women, super, super gay, but like has deviated for dick in the past because I'm not proud of it. I'm not a gold star. Only gays get that joke. But I will say this. I'm looking for someone. I have someone now, but my market of person is genderless. It's more like this brand of deodorant, which I'm hoping you will see. It's Old Spice Wilderness with lavender. And I feel like any person that's willing to wear that, like, can get a one-way ticket to Ira Land. Feel me? Like, that's good. It's cool. I've been doing No Shave November last March. And I wear a hair tie on my ring finger these days, as you can see, because it's like the most consistent multi-year commitment I've made in a while. It's a long time to grow hair, people. For y'all who don't have Daniel Flores, you be knowing. That's right. I feel you. I see you, Rebecca. It's more common for women. That's why I went for Dave. I'm going to sing you guys some songs with my last few seconds, okay? All right, we're going to start with a banger. Never said I was a wise man. Okay, so that's how like men get to sing, right? And like here's a collab song, right? Here's a collab. New York. Like, how is that fair for anyone else? Like, it's just sexist, you know? It's just all right. We get like. Right, and then you get like, you could have had it all. Like quality, right? Black Lives Matter. My name's Ira Claiborne. Thanks for having me.
Woo! Give it up for Ira Claiborne. Oh my god. I'm like a little taken aback. I'm not sure how to react because that was funny, and then you also kind of have a killer voice. Like that was awesome. Up next, had a little bit of a change in his set list, so we get to see his stuff early. I think I don't need to surprise anybody and just say that in his intro he said, "Surprise me, Daddy." So that's where we are. Man, I feel both really, really old and sad. Give it up for Daniel Flores. Woo, 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 woo.
Well, I mean, I can say I was surprised by how you chose to introduce me, so that's cool. What's up, guys? I'm getting really annoyed at people who get dogs and then start calling themselves parents. I hate that. It's not the same thing, you know, like if I put out a bowl of dog food a day for a puppy, I'm doing a good job. If I put out a bowl of dog food a day for a baby, CPS is getting involved like really fast. Not in a fun way, okay? What's a fun way for CPS to get involved? I'm so glad you all literally asked that at the exact same time. So I'm looking into it. I haven't figured it out yet. But when I do, y'all will be the first to know, okay? We'll meet back here, same time, same Zoom. I don't know how we'll coordinate it, but there will be a signal, okay? And I don't know what the signal will be, but you'll see it and you'll go, oh, Daniel's having fun with Child Protective Services. That's a good signal. Maybe it'll be like the bat signal, but instead of a bat, it's a silhouette of me having a child getting taken away, and I'm just going like, yeah, this rules. That could be a good signal. No, but I think there's got to be a brand of dog food you can feed a child, right? Just saying. Like sometimes I'll see a dog food commercial on TV and I'll go like, man, that looks like it tastes really good with milk. And then the dog comes in and eats it, and I'm like, well, now my whole day is ruined. Why would you let the dog eat people food? What, do you think we're like equal or something? No. No one truly thinks dogs and people are equal, okay? Because if you think that, then why aren't you fighting for canine suffrage?
Yeah.
No one is. No one fights for a dog's right to vote, and I know why. Because if you did, dogs would have overturned the 2020 election, okay? Donald Trump would have won fair and square. A dog and the average Trump voter have a lot in common, you know, no college education. They don't want to do crap about global warming, and we're told all the time they can't see color. So it's I don't know how I made children eating dog food political, but I did. It could be a partisan issue. I don't know. But if I find out, I'll let you guys know. We'll meet back here, same time, same Zoom. There will be a signal. You don't let a child anything you let a dog. Like, dogs eat their own poop, okay? And you might be thinking, that's crazy. My dog doesn't do that. Yeah, they do it when you're not looking because they feel a correct amount of shame about it, okay? I'll tell you guys a little story. I was curious about the whole poop eating business, so I may have tried it.
No.
Yes, yes, I did. Um, it was pretty gross, and like I went out to my dog and I was like, "Why would you make me eat my own poop? This is all your fault." And he didn't get that I was angry because dogs are terrible with social cues, and like, yeah, I just find dogs really stupid. You know, can't understand English, can't vote, eat their own poop. He actually pooped right in front of me right then and there, which felt really insulting. And then I realized what I'd done wrong, and I picked it up and I ate it. It wasn't. It was. My time's up, but it was pretty good, guys. It was. You should try eating dog poop sometime. Like wash it down with a glass of toilet water. It goes. It's good.
Oh my.
I'm never gonna do that routine again.
All right, give it up for Daniel Flores, everybody. Just as a reminder, the views expressed by the comedians and the advice given does not reflect the views of District Comedy or advice that we would give. If you eat poop after Daniel's set, that's on Daniel, not us. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Next up, though, really excited to have her back. She's got 99 problems, and they're all made up. It's Rebecca Bollinger. Woo, 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 woo.
Hi. So I don't know how it went for everybody else today, but Falls Church, Virginia actually got a lot of freezing rain. And it got me kind of thinking, like, what causes it to ice as opposed to snow? So I looked it up today. I figured out the science, and it's really interesting because it's cold enough to snow, but it doesn't because fuck you. It's fascinating. But anyway, I'm just curious, does anybody else here grind their teeth in their sleep? Does anybody else?
Yeah.
Yes, there's my TMJ tribe. Yes, because you know what they say, we hustle all day and we grind all night. But yeah, I grind my teeth really, really bad. It's super painful. My teeth get shorter and shorter every year. That if we continue at this rate, by 2023, I'm gonna look like Queen of the Meth Heads. I think it's just really unfair that I get the consequence of doing drugs without the fun of doing drugs. But yeah, my teeth are so small. My mouth is essentially a safety deposit box for where the tooth fairy keeps all of the little children's teeth. So I started wearing a mouth guard, and actually I started wearing a mouth guard right around the time that I got engaged, because I figured, what better way to spice up this very exciting phase in our relationship by wearing something to bed that makes me talk with a tongue thrust. I'm like, where's my goodnight kiss? It basically just makes me do a really bad impression of Drew Barrymore. That's what it is. But my fiance and I have been engaged for like over a year now, so I guess he's into it. But yeah, I'm engaged. I said yes to helping this man find his things for the rest of his life. And I say for the rest of his life because, statistically I'm going to outlive him. But it's crazy. This kid cannot find anything on his own. We've been living in the same apartment for like 4 years, and he still doesn't know where the butter is. I think it's really concerning that when you're looking for a perishable food item, you'd be able to like narrow it down to say, I don't know, the refrigerator. Not in this case. What's even more concerning is that we live in a studio apartment. All of our things are in but one room. When he's like, hey, hon, have you seen my hat? I'm like, I don't know, sweetheart. How about you give us a little twirl? Spin around every single item that we own and let me know if you can find it. But yeah, we're getting married. I'm really excited. We're spending $30,000 to essentially let the government know that we're fucking for life. I'm kind of finding that wedding planning isn't as fun as I thought it would be. And like, it's funny because like I don't hate a lot of things. Like, I don't really like spending money, and I'm not like a huge fan of like being vulnerable in front of people. But I'm finding that wedding planning is spending money to be vulnerable in front of other people. Like, my mom's crying while I'm trying on wedding dresses, and I'm just sitting there seething like a cat that just fell into a bathtub. Like, mother, we are spending $1,000 on what is essentially a costume that is a cream puff. A cream puff costume. Dry your eyes, Maureen. We're in hell. Anyway, that's me. Thank you, everyone.
Woo, woo, woo! Keep it going for Rebecca Bollinger, everybody. Oh my God. Don't worry, I have called 911 because she killed that set. Here we go. Tying it up. Let me see. We had another slight change in the schedule. Let me find their information. All right, so she wrote, I don't know what to put here anymore. But I do. We had the very special episode last week, and she's now eating Uncrustables. Give it up for Desiree Walsh. Woo, 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 woo.
Hello. Yes, I'm from Canada, so we don't have. I think all of you know that. I think I've met everyone here. Yeah, so I am from Canada, and we don't have Uncrustables. And then Tom sent me some Uncrustables, but I wrote a new part for my joke, but I gotta do the first part, so you're gonna get a drink or something, or go. Yeah, so pretend I didn't tell you the first part. So I'm Canadian, and I'm really enjoying doing all these mics with mostly Americans, because I'm learning so much about your culture, like the food. You have these things called Uncrustables, and we don't have these abominations in Canada, so I've never had one. I also can't wink. I did. I'm told they're like the white trash cousin of the Pop-Tart or the red-headed stepchild of the Pizza Pocket. It's basically a frozen peanut butter sandwich in America. Wouldn't it just be easier to make a peanut butter sandwich? I mean, with an Uncrustable, you have to thaw it and cook it and then eat it. It just seems like a lot of work. I did this joke recently, and another comedian was like, no, you just eat them frozen. And now I have more questions than I have answered. Because why are we paying money for the worst day of grade 2 when the ice pack fell on top of the sandwich and it got all gross, America? Why are we paying for that? And then another comedian was like, no, you don't eat them frozen. You just take them out of the freezer and let them thaw naturally. And now I have the question, is it a friend or is it food? He's like, what do you mean? You just take it out of the freezer and you cuddle it, sing it Tiny Dancer, desired temperature. I don't understand. Well, as luck would have it, last week, a Virginia-based comic mailed me some Uncrustables. They were completely unfrozen when they got here. That was interesting. And I still maintain, America, wouldn't it be easier to make a peanut butter sandwich? Because with an Uncrustable, you have to thaw it. Yes, you don't cook it. You have to fiddle with that bag that I think NASA made because it's so hard to and then you eat it, and it seems like a lot of work. So I tried an Uncrustable frozen, and if you don't, that's a good way to get a chipped tooth. If you don't like your symmetrical smile, eat an Uncrustable frozen. Because you really do have to take it out of the freezer and cuddle it and hold it close. Sing it Tiny Dancer, that might be optional. What I'm saying is I think Smucker's needs to be stopped between that and the Goober grape. There's a lot of talk about what's wrong with America or what happened. And quite frankly, as a person who only discovered New Jersey was a state 8 weeks ago, I don't believe I'm entitled to an opinion, but I think it started with the invention of the Uncrustables. Thank you. Also, Tom is a Virginia-based comic.
Woo, woo, woo. Spoilers all around. Give it up for Desiree Walsh, everybody. I don't know. For some reason, I feel like I said that a little bit aggressively. I didn't mean it so. Give it up if you want to for Desiree Walsh. I find her funny. I will be giving up the laughs for her, just to clarify. But next up, another comic who I believe has been on once before. Maybe I'm making that up. But at least judging from the background, he's a funny guy. Give it up for Sita! Woo, 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 woo! But I can't spotlight him until he turns on his camera. Is he in the room?
Sita, turn on your video.
You went out for a beer?
Yeah, I think he left when Desiree said, go grab a drink, and then he just didn't come back. Like my dad! Anyway, sorry, that was... Whew. Oh, man, I thought I'd suppress those memories. Sorry about that. Grace Snyder, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm ready.
Okay, awesome. She's going to be a great sport because she did not know that she was on deck and going up now. But she lives in Chicago and produces the Weekend Remedy, currently virtual weekly mic, and sometimes show on Saturdays, 7 p.m. Central. Please give it up for Grace Snyder. Woo, 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 woo.
Here I am in Alaska, right here. There we are. This is where I am right now. No, I lived in Alaska for 15 years. It's the only thing I talk about. So that's, Ira said there's a deodorant called Spice Wilderness with lavender. How'd they get me in a little plastic container? That's all I have. You want to rub that on your body. Not just on your underarms. Wherever you can. That's all I have to say. And lots of men would agree with me on that. But Zoom dating, right? Let's just segue to that. Doing live comedy. Wait, y'all are live. In-person comedy. Not live. And I remember saying, no more fucking dating jokes. Like, I mean, obviously, I go on dates only for the material, but still, I need to stop, right? I sound like every other white lady who looks like she's 20, right? But really, to me, Zoom dating is kind of like being a caller on a radio show, like an early morning pop radio show. You call in and you're like, oh my God, first time getter inner and long time swiper, been swiping a lot. So glad to be here. Thanks for having me. Oh my God. I mean, it's just like, it's kind of ridiculous. I get it. Like, you got to meet somebody and swiping can work. But I want to save my fingers for other things, you know? Like, I really do. And we know what we're talking about here. I'm a little man crazy. I think I am a little bit. I think it's definitely, like, I haven't moved anywhere for a man, but I've definitely gone on long vacations for them. Or, you know, last minute plane ticket on Value Jet. Does that even exist anymore? You guys really to get to Arkansas, to rent a car and then like drive across the state. Actually, it was Tennessee. Same. To then like meet this guy, you know, like, and I became really good friends with his cousin. So that's how that works. That's how it always works. I become good friends with the cousin. But yeah, like I had a long time relationship in Alaska, and we were really good in all the small spaces, like our small 12x16 cabin. Do the math. Like you turn around, you're like, he's always in your periphery. And you know, I should have realized after a while he was always in my periphery, and he always had like a glare. So I should have realized he was not exactly happy with the relationship. But one time he left me on the outhouse. Let me explain. I had a miscarriage, which is a euphemism for something else. And it was within the first 6 months of our relationship. That's when you should have the misfortunate situation of an abortion. Whoa, I can't talk. I mean, a miscarriage. I'm trying to figure out my audience right here. Let's see. No, I know talking about outhouses can be really hard. I get it. We've already talked about poop, so we're okay. But yeah, I was left out there afterwards. I had the cramps, and I had like the, are you 46? Are you 486ing it? Yes, we are. Thank you very much. Goodbye. But I was out there on the outhouse, about 40 degrees. It was fall, but, cold enough in the woods. And I was not dating a bear, by the way. It was a human. And I'm sitting there, and I'm in pain. Like, I thought I was dying. It might have been the pot brownies earlier, but I thought I was dying. He thought it would help. And I remember he didn't come check on me, but his dog did. His dog did. Dog, that was a very good dog. Very good dog. But I stayed with him for 7 years, so that's on me. My name is Grace Snyder. It's so good to be here. Thank you so much.
Woo, 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 woo! Keep it going for Grace Snyder, everybody! All right. Checking the room real quick. I've been just hurt so many times. I do this every time just to see. Oh, no. Our next comic is not here. So I will be moving down the list. Actually, I will be moving back up the list. Any chance you're back in the room, Sitha?
Yeah, I'm here, sorry.
Yay! Okay, awesome. Like I was saying before, I'm assuming, went to get a drink when Desiree said, and now he's here to do some comedy. Give it up for Sitha! Woo, 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 woo!
I actually went to take a leak, I'm sorry, guys. But let's get serious. I'm kidding. It's an open mic. I am a clean comedian. Fuck yeah. Where have you seen my face? If you tell it's a local 7-Eleven store, you're racist. But excuse me 1 second, guys. Sorry, that's just an inside joke. Between me and the voice inside my head. I don't know why he keeps telling me to jump off the mountain, jump off the mountain. I'm in Florida, you idiot. I'm from India, but please don't call me Chief. That's a different Indian. Has anybody been to India? Has anybody seen Slumdog Millionaire? Oh. See, I should ask the question right. I feel very lucky to be an Indian because if I need a doctor, I got a cousin. If I need a dentist, I got a cousin. If I need a wife, I got a cousin. Yeah, my family gatherings are pretty much gangbangs. I sent a comedy video to my dad. He replied, "Proud of you, son. Loved your TED talk." Well, my comedy is like married sex, guys. It never happens.
Oh.
But when it does, you guys will fake it just to make me stop performing.
Oh.
I still remember my first Birds and the Bees conversation. Yep, it was the night after marriage. My wife sat me down and she was like, "What do you mean you don't know where that goes?" My grandfather had a pharmacy business back in India. So drug dealing is part of my family DNA. I'm kidding, guys. I'm not a drug dealer. I am a computer engineer by race. Well, whenever I feel homesick, I just call Dell technical support. Thanks for calling Dell. This is James Wood. How may I help you? Hey, Ravi, is that you? How is your pet goat doing, man? Yeah, he's safe inside my tummy. Who has tried spicy Indian food? Anybody? Oh, wow, a lot of people. I compare it to a divorced spouse, right? Both are a pain in the ass when they leave you. That's what I was doing. Anyway, a girl told me I look like a British celebrity. I asked her if it's James Bond. She said, no, it's Mr. Bean.
Oh.
I know I have a long nose like Mr. Bean.
Oh no, he
got stuck inside a pussy one time. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I think I had some internet issues. Anyway, I dated a model in college, an eczema model.
Ha ha
Yeah, we had some rough patches.
ha.
Then people told me great comedy can only come from a dark and depressed place inside of you. So I went and got married. Good luck, Rebecca.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time, guys.
Woo 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 woo! Give it up for Sitha, everybody. Also, I feel like I just have to remind everybody now I'm also engaged. Didn't want Rebecca to have all the attention on that. Just kidding. We're all having a good time here. All right. Yeah, everybody. You get an engagement. You get an engagement. All right. Here we go. Next up, he is definitely in the room, people. And if he, between when I checked and now, left the room, I'm gonna be real sad. But for his intro, it hurts me personally because he wrote "The guy who doesn't pay his library fines." I'm a librarian, so that hurts. But give it up, nonetheless, for
my revenge.
for just Camilo. Woo 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 woo!
Okay, so I don't know if maybe I've just skipped enough mics, or I've bailed on you guys too many times. You don't expect me to be here, but I'm here. So, all right. Okay, so the set today is. Do you guys think Bruce Lee sang in the shower? Probably. I mean, all men do. I sing in the shower. That's right. I don't care. I'll tell you about it. I sing in the shower. It's a little bit embarrassing. Not gonna lie. Not for me mostly. Maybe for the people that are listening to me, especially if they're like doing a Zoom meeting or something, and they got their son screeching "Let It Be" in the next room. Yeah. But you know what I do sometimes? Sometimes I'll just sing extra loud just to piss them off. So I got that kind of power. I don't know. That's just something I do. And the solution has been to cut off my water supply lately. And then what do I do there? Get out of the shower and sing in the hallways. I don't know. Equally as annoying, a little bit worse reaction. Sometimes I do that, and now I live alone. So it worked out for everyone, except for me. I live alone now. Okay, that was get over that joke really quickly and forget that ever happened. Next one. Okay. So David Letterman has been kind of the last guy to spark some outrage on Twitter. I don't know if you guys following that. I think it's kind of a shame. I thought he was okay. But there's an awkward interview that popped up and now people are upset. I wish they would do the opposite though. Like, instead of finding dirt on someone we thought we loved, find a silver lining for someone we know we hate. Like, remember that time Rudy Giuliani won Time Person of the Year? Doesn't that make you want to forgive the guy? You know, like, I know he's an asshole now, but 20 years ago, he was making the right place. Maybe he's not that bad. I don't know. Okay. Anybody remember the first time they learned a swear word?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. No, nobody knows swear words. Okay. So, well, okay. This is the way I learned it. I was like probably in class. You're about 5 or 6 years old. You all pretty young, and you got all your little friends. And then the bell rings, and the kid's getting up, packing their bags, going out to play. Some kid pulls you aside, says, "You're cool," with a capital C for constipated. What? Whoa, that's like, this is the first time you're being offended, and you got to deal with that. It's a little aggressive right off the bat. But as legend has it, this is what you said. You said, "Okay, guess that makes you nice," with a capital N for, I don't know if I should say it, but I did say it at the time, and now everyone kind of hates me. Okay. There's a set. I know it wasn't that great, but it's good to get these out anyways. thanks guys for the mic and for just hosting this, and hopefully I can come. You'll see me around, maybe. Yeah. Okay.
Yay! Woo!
Another set.
Give it up for Camilo, everybody. Woo, woo, woo. I think everybody should end their sets complimenting me in the mic. It's just my personal opinion. Up next, really excited for this next comedian because he's also the co-host, and I forgot to mention, he's also engaged. Just keep adding them on. Give it up for Brooksy Poopsy. Woo, 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 woo.
All right. All right. So before we start the timer, Tom, I'm taking co-host privilege here. Pause that.
Okay. All right.
Camilo, you never need to feel bad about any of your sets because I remember we were the first mic you did like your first stand-up on. So like, let's just give it up one more time for Camilo.
Oh yeah! His comedy
we
parents.
His cherry and we were not gentle.
Oh damn. Oh, okay.
All right, start the timer. So Rebecca, you are the also engaged person on the mic. Do you have like a really cute engagement story?
We he surprised me with a trip to Argentina, and I had to be like, "Are you gonna propose? Tell me, I gotta know." And then I ruined the surprise, and I sent him the link to the ring that I wanted.
That is so much better than mine because what I did, I totally surprised my fiance Chelsea. We went out to this she had just gotten back from Paris, and I'm really worried that she had hooked up with the much sexier than me French men, and I wouldn't have even blamed her for that. But so we go out to this nice steakhouse. And we go there and we get home and I drop down to one knee and I pull out the ring and say, "Will you marry me?" And she responds with the worst way to respond when you're surprised by something.
Sorry.
That cell phone ringtone. That's exactly how it is. She never even answered me. It's just the phone rang and we've just still been living together. So I assumed yes.
Yeah.
Whose phone was that?
That was
Grace.
mine.
I'm bearing my soul, and here you go ruining it. Jesus Christ. I wanted to do cat jokes, but here I am exposing myself, and then your phone goes off.
With cat jokes.
So anyway, I get down to one knee, totally surprise her, and she responds the worst way when you're surprised by something. No way! Well, I guess I'm going to go fill my pockets with rocks and walk into the ocean now.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go on to the other jokes I had planned for tonight.
Your phone didn't ring, Brooks?
No, not my phone rang. Your phone rang. Come on.
No, I thought maybe it was perfect. Her phone really didn't ring. She actually just said no way.
No, she took the moment a lot more serious than you did.
Oh!
I think it probably would have been better if her phone rang. It would have taken the no way comment off because I was dead serious on the fill my pockets with rocks. I had a bag of rocks ready to go, just stuffed in my pocket with them. I would have walked into the Chesapeake Bay, and Chesapeake Bay is really shallow. So I could have walked a really long way into it before I would have drowned. I don't know if you guys know this, but the Chesapeake Bay Foundation, the #1 foundation for all Chesapeake Bay related facts. If you need a fact about another body of water, go fuck yourself. But the Chesapeake Bay, they got you handled. So they have this fun fact that they post on their website where the Chesapeake Bay is so shallow that a 7-foot-tall woman can wade across it without getting the top of her head wet. That is a really specific unit of measurement. I want to know, who the guy was that thought of that. And people were well, couldn't we say a 10-foot-tall woman and she wouldn't get her face wet? No! The face has to get wet. Only the top of the head can stay dry. All right, now I'm going to do my old person joke that I promised because, I made a big deal about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've gotten to the age now where my back hurts because I just exist. I tore my rotator cuff last year, and this is an injury that happens when pitchers throw 90-mile-an-hour fastballs thousands of times a year, or quarterbacks get hit by 300-pound linemen on a daily basis. I got it because I slept on it weird. I got hurt doing something so easy, babies do it. All right, I actually think this is the first successful crowd work mic I've actually had. So
Yeah!
All right, I'm going to abandon the jokes I wrote out specifically for this event to host the rest of the mic this evening.
Woo, 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 woo!
Yeah.
All right, so out of Chicago, it's Noah Saunders.
Woo, 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 woo!
Thanks, Brooks. Great to be here. This is a great mic that I rarely go to for whatever reason, but it is a great mic. I wonder, the tea I'm drinking has like a ton of probiotic in it. I've had like 8 cups, and now my mouth, it's very dry, not very hydrating. I don't know. You didn't need to know that. So I think comics can relate to this. Have you ever done a bit that's like super personal, and then it doesn't land at all, and then you're like, wow, now everyone knows that for absolutely no reason whatsoever? Has anyone tried writing longhand for more than 90 seconds in the past 8 years? It hurts. It hurts. Don't do it. Don't do it. I used to live in Washington, D.C., DMV Mike. For a while, I waited tables. I worked at a restaurant. And one time we had a big restaurant party. We invited everybody over. And my housemate, Matt, had a pharmacist in Plano, Texas, that would give him 6 months worth of Adderall at one time. So he basically had a meth lab in his bedroom. And I had never fucked with it before. He offered me one. He told me to only take half. I took the whole thing, obviously. 30 milligrams. And then I took all these shots. I blacked out. It was like a lucid blackout. I was talking. I was mixing it up. And at one point, I proposed to one of my coworkers. I got down on one knee in front of everyone. We kissed on the lips. And she said yes. And we never called it off. So I'm engaged. I'm engaged to everyone.
Woo!
You ever just forget you're engaged for like 9 years? That happened to me in real life. I recently got a job as a fishmonger. I butcher fish on the north side of Chicago. I like the job, but something weird happened on my second day. Someone asked me what race I was. On my second, I don't know, just like the third thing he ever said to me was like, "What race are you?" It kind of irked me, like you're in a hurry to apply whatever like racial construct, whatever. And next time someone asks me that, I'm going to be a smartass. I'm going to be like, my dad's Indian and my mom's an octopus. That's why I'm here. I have mom issues. I think I'm because I'm fucked up. All right. Anyway, I got 1:30 left. My friend she puts on all these Zoom calls once a month for my core group of friends. I'm from a city called Corona, California. Ironically, I don't have a bit for that. It's been bad for our brand. Whatever. Brief description: it's a land of dust and monster energy drink. All the conservative South suburb of LA. But she puts on these calls, and it's nice. And my married friends are often intrigued by the lives of the single ones of us. Because they got hitched pre-dating app era, so I imagine it's like interesting for them to hear about. And then we were talking, the conversation veered towards eating ass for whatever reason. I know that's a cliche stand-up thing, but all these people in their 30s were talking about eating ass. And then my friend in this convo said he had tasted his own cum before. And first, no judgment at all. That's fine. But what I found more mystifying than the fact that he did that was he did not seem to fully anticipate how much of a conversation stopper that would clearly no one can talk about the Toronto Raptors anymore. And a fun wrinkle to that is he works for Google. He works on this thing they have called Loon, where if the Wi-Fi network goes down in a third world country, they have these balloons that come down, and it creates this ad hoc Wi-Fi network. And he also tastes his own cum. So shout out to Damien. That's my time. Thanks, guys.
Woo!
All right, you guys, keep it going for Noah Saunders. Welcome back to the mic, brother. Our next comic hosts a virtual open mic every Monday called Zoomsday Comedy. Check it out, Mr. Evan K.
Woo! Thank you so much, Brooks. Thank you so much for that introduction. Yeah. Rebecca, you were talking about how you grind your teeth. I grind my teeth as well, and my partner actually snores. So whenever we sleep, it's like a goddamn opera. Yeah. Okay, but let's get to some jokes. Okay, all right. Hey everyone, my name is Evan, and here's something I want you folks to know about me. I am dyslexic. Yes. And the way my dyslexia works is that I always get my numbers mixed up. Okay, like just the other night, my girlfriend was like, "Hey Evan, do you want 69?" And I was like, "Hell yeah!" We just lied back to back. Yeah. It was so hot, but it was so ridiculous. Yeah. At her ass, great cushion though. It was great. Yeah. I have a problem though, okay? Here's a problem. I have some bad roommates, okay? Make some noise if you have some bad roommates too, okay? Okay? But not too much noise though, because then they'll tell you to quiet down, okay? Yeah. I think you have bad roommates when they put paper plates in the dishwasher and use toilet paper in the recycling bin. That is some bad roommates. Yes. This apartment though I've been in this apartment for over a year, and man, if the walls in this apartment could talk, they'd probably be screaming from all the times I've hammered nails into it. Yeah. One time I had a friend and we applied for a job together, and we both got the job, but to work on the job we had to get a drug test, and I passed the test, because I like to be employed. My friend though was not going to pass the test, so what he did is he asked me for a jar of my pee. I said no, and to make sure I wouldn't be tempted to give him any of my pee, that night I shot up some heroin. You're probably thinking, Evan, that's super spiteful. Why would you ever do that? But I disagree, because I think by doing that, I'm a very upstanding citizen with high morals. High like you wouldn't believe. All right. So because of the whole pandemic, I have been catching up on movies I've never seen before. The other weekend, I saw Avengers Endgame, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was super inspiring how a team of superheroes could come together and save the universe from total and utter destruction. But I think it would be even more impressive if the Avengers got together and saved a comic book store from going out of business. Yeah. It's like, come on, Hulk, stock some shelves. Spider-Man, work that till. Deadpool, kill the landlord. Yeah, okay. Here's something new though that happened during this whole pandemic. I recently got into a relationship. Thank you for that. Yeah. My girlfriend's a librarian, and she's been working from home because of the whole pandemic. And I can tell she hasn't been taking working from home well, because every time I try and talk to her, she just tells me to be quiet. Nice, Tom, like that one. Good librarian humor here.
Exactly.
Yeah. But last week though, we made a pretty big purchase. We got a mattress and a box together. It was pretty cool. Yeah. She paid for it, and until I pay for my half, I'm sleeping in the box. Yes. I have a dog. Her name is Lady. Fucking love my dog, Lady. She's amazing. But the other week, I caught her eating my Pop Brownies. And when that happened, I was really worried about what I was going to be eating that night. Yeah. And what she ended up happening though was that she ended up just laying in her bed, eating ice cream, and watched Step Brothers for 2 days afterwards. I thought, well, if she's going to be eating Pop Brownies, at least she knows how to enjoy them. Okay, that's my time. Thank you, everyone. Y'all have a good night. Peace out.
Whoa.
All right, you guys, give it up for Evan K and his probably dead dog.
Oh, damn.
Come on, if it ain't all your Pop Brownies, that thing's not around. Our next comic, Corrine would like more Instagram followers on her upcoming birthday, which I'm assuming is soon, because why else would she mention it? Give it up for Corrine Martinez.
Woo!
Thank you, Brooks. Let me switch to gallery so I can see how long I have. I almost didn't show up to today's mic. I got an email that my state tax returns were rejected, and then also my credit card was stolen. So I was crying, but then I thought, well, I signed up, I might as well show up. And then my husband depressed me more. He said, and it wouldn't hurt to throw on some makeup too. Eyeshadow, in case you want to see. Let me see. I was sick for 5 days after getting my second dosage of the COVID vaccine because I'm a healthcare worker. Yeah. And then I was mentioning it to another coworker. And you know how there's always one like eavesdropping and listening. So one, I don't know what I'll call her, Ursula. I'm going to use her real name. Ursula. It's a descriptive, pretty term, yeah. Ursula was just saying, I don't believe you, Corrine. And she told me in Spanish, you're a liar. So that word is mentirosa. You're a mentirosa. She said, because my friend was only sick for a day. So I turned around. I was like, I'm not your friend. You know, I mean, like literally, every person's different. I was so mad. Usually I'm calm, but I was like doing this to her. I said, every person's different. Some people get sick, some don't. I got sick, all right? And then I was like all stressed out coming out of my break. So I had to like calm down. I was like, because I don't want to take it out on a patient. You know, I don't want to scare them. Let me see. Here's another one I wanted to try out. Oh, you know how like Hallmark cards, they're always like $16, and to me, those are lies. They're always too mushed, like, I love you forever. I mean, Rebecca, you feel that way because you're engaged, but after married for 23 years, the last thing you want to buy is a Hallmark card, and they're too expensive. I thought, I'm going to come up with a line that's 99 cents, and it's going to be called I Keeps It Real. So I thought mine to my husband would be, I banged a lot of dudes before you, and if we ever get a divorce, I'll be banging a lot more. Happy Valentine's Day. Love, Corrine. And when I was writing it, because I write like out loud, I talk to myself, he was mean. He said, you know, I have one for you. He said, I only went out with you in high school because I heard you were easy, and it was true. I was like, wow, you're mean. I'm glad he's not a comic. Was there anything else I wanted? Oh, yeah, Ira, you said you don't wear heels. Don't worry about it. I don't either. I actually tried to for my reception, and I fell down a flight of stairs. But I didn't get hurt. You know, nobody pushed me, because I even asked my dad, did someone push me, some jealous bitch or something that didn't get me? No, he said it was just your clumsy ass. He said, Corrine, we figured you were drunk, with love. I don't know. So I've never worn heels since. Thank you. That's my time.
Woo, 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 woo. All right, you guys, give it up for Corrine Martinez. All right, our next comic is living out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and I'm going to say this name with confidence, so hopefully it works out for me because I'm cute and white. Give it up for TJ Mossicampo.
Woo, woo, woo,
woo! All right, perfect. Nicely done. It's pretty crazy that Corinne will throw herself down a flight of stairs to look good for a social gathering. But to be fair, I'll throw myself down a flight of stairs to avoid one. That's right. So let's see. My friend asked me recently if I'm afraid of guns. I'm afraid of baseballs. Yeah, and those are technically catchable. I hated baseball growing up. They had us playing fast pitch at 8 years old. I remember being at bat like, you expect Joshua to hit the strike zone and not me? Look at his shirt. He can't even hit his mouth with his Kool-Aid. I'll go to games now because I want to hang out with my friends. Super terrified of foul balls. I always get a popcorn and a drink, but yeah, those aren't snacks. Those are padding. Yeah, I'm always telling my two little kids that too much sugar is bad, but when they're with me, I'm like, hi, we'll take 3 of your fluffiest cotton candies. Yeah, I don't get baseball. My buddies don't get my fear. They're like, look, if you're so nervous, just sit in the nosebleed section. And I'm like, nosebleed? Nice try. In every other sport, the balls are bigger and softer. Like my 7-year-old is going to ask for a baseball, and I'm going to be like, "Hey, you know what's fun? Balloons." Or worse, he's going to ask to join a baseball team in the spring, and I'm going to be like, "Look, I really think it's time you started smoking pot." A lot of absent dads miss their sons' baseball games because they love to work. I might be the first dad to start loving work just to miss my kids' baseball games. my coworkers are gonna be like, EJ, you're so passionate about the job lately. You mind sharing your secret? Yeah, lots of double headers. Let's see. Racism. Yeah, racism is so evil. It's so evil that we forget it's also super childish. You hate people based on a color. Did you decide that during recess? You racists also hate the principal. The KKK's whole thing is their skin color is the best skin color, and they have organized meetings. Look, in grade school, my friends and I all thought braces were for dweebs. That was also dumb, but we didn't write bylaws. Hey, you know what our bullying needs? Paperwork. People will occasionally be racist to me, and it always feels so lazy. You're gonna make fun of my skin color? How about the fact that I clearly haven't showered? I'm at a bar by myself. I'm poorly dressed. You point out my race. That's the best thing I have going for me. You damn Asian. You're right. I do belong to a supportive community. I needed that. Yeah, they're like, go back to Beijing. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't realize I looked like I was doing that well. You really think I can make it there? Yeah, you know what's not slanting downwards? China's economy. Racists always want to send me back to China. If that ever did happen, my family in the Philippines would be so impressed by how well traveled I am. All right, that's all I got. Thanks.
All right, you guys keep it going for EJ. All right, so our final comic of the night. For his intro put, it doesn't matter to me, and I'm really concerned for his mental health because of that. Give it up for Oscar Carabel.
Next time I do the mic, I'll write an intro, man. It's gonna be the longest, most complicated intro in your life. So you can be like, all right, we'll go back to no intros. All right.
I'll read it, dude.
Yeah, all right. We'll see, man. We'll see. I'll think of it. Anyways, okay. Let's. I go to Mexico often, right? And one thing I noticed about the difference between U.S. Mexicans and Mexicans is in the U.S. there's a lot of Aztec pride, right? Like Mexicans think they're Aztecs, right? That doesn't happen in Mexico, which is weird, right? Because we're not Aztecs. We're not, like, if you read history, I tell Mexicans, hey, we're not Aztecs, bro, but they think we're Mexicans here think we're Aztecs, and like, really, this is what we are. We're a mixture of the Europeans that came over, starting with Hernan Cortez, right? And of the indigenous tribes that were living in Mexico at the time. Most of those tribes were not Aztecs. Matter of fact, a lot of them hated the Aztecs, right? But if you talk to someone here, they'll be like, nah, bro, we Aztecs, right? And my thing is, like, when is the last time that you cut somebody's heart out and sacrifice it to the gods because you needed it to rain a little more this season, right? Like, no, you don't do that shit because you're not an Aztec, dude. And it's what it is. I know how I'm not an Aztec because of this story, right? There's a story that the last Aztec emperor, his name is Cuauhtemoc, he was captured by the Spanish and he was tied up and tortured. A torture that included putting his feet to fire and burning them for him to tell him where the gold was at, and he didn't say shit, right? And that's how I know that I'm not an Aztec, because I would have said everything right away, right? Like, you don't even have to do that shit to me, no? Like, if you just tie me up and tickle my feet a little bit, right? Like, after like 2 minutes, I'll break down and tell you everything, bro. I'll tell you where the gold is at. Like, I'll even tell you questions you didn't even ask me, right? Like, you want to know where the silver is at too, dog? 'Cause I could tell you that too, man. Bron's right. You want to know where the promiscuous women hang around, right? Like, you go by the Temple of the Sun and you buy this girl named Malinche, some tequila, whatever they drank at that time. I don't know what it is. They were drinking at Aztec times, man. Yeah, man. But here's the thing, though. A lot of people, like, when they read this type of history and they see sacrifices, they're like, man, the Aztecs are really primitive, right? They're sacrificing people, right? They're killing people. But this is crazy because they were actually sacrificing because that was their belief. This is their belief that they can sacrifice people. Like, and like, we're not to judge, right? Because how many people do we sacrifice for our belief in the Second Amendment every year, right? Like, children at schools, people at the mall. Like, so yeah, let's not judge other cultures about it. Right? But there's a lot of people killing in Mexico still, right? Cartels are killing a lot of people, and right now, like, there's one thing they do in Mexico they don't do here. Is like they take some of these assassins as soon as they capture them, and they right away interview them for national television, and they ask them questions like, "Why did you kill these innocent people?" and shit like that, right? And they always have a variation of the same answer. These assassins are always like, "Because the boss said I had to," right? Like, I like this idea that assassins have the same problems that we do, right? Like, I like this idea that assassins hate their bosses and are afraid of them like we are, right? They're like, because the boss said I had to, and my performance review is next month, right? And the wife wants to get the kitchen redone, and someone's got to pay for that shit, so can't jeopardize that Christmas bonus, right? Plus, Phil from HR already said El Chapo's not a reprimander or something like that. Anyways, that's my time, man. Thank you very much, man.
Woo, 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 woo!
All right, you guys, that is our final comedian for the night, unless Nick D suddenly showed up.
No,
of course not.
we actually had two people leave.
That's what I get having my hopes on Nick D's.
Yeah.
So, guys, please plug your pluggables in the chat. Tom, do you want to tell people where we can buy that fantastic, high-quality notebook?
I guess I'll mention it again while I do the outro.
Let's see it again.
What? What's that?
Let's see it again.
Oh, well, it's the same logo as the one that's like yeah, on the stuff. It's spiral. It's not like a true spiral. It's like individual loops. So. You know it's the good shit. Yeah, the pages are like, you know, you can write on them, which is that's what I look for. Anyway, enough of that. Here we go. That's it for tonight. We're gonna stop streaming. If you guys want to hang out in the room, we have a little bit of green room time after the mic for about 15 to 30 minutes. But just want to give a big thank you to my co-host Brooksy Poopsy, all the comedians who performed tonight, and of course you, our audience. Ironically enough, we did not have any one-liners submitted by our audience, but I did have somebody comment saying, "Great to see your show," which I thought was very nice. So thank you, Casey, for compliments. But yeah, let me see. I reused scripts from the previous week, so I'm like trying to skip over all the Uncrustable stuff I said last week. But I'm really grateful for everybody, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, if you enjoyed the show, want to support the stream, please consider making a donation of any size at district-comedy.live. That's also where you can buy your own fancy notebook. I mean, we also have other stuff, but the notebook's